And I think we are live. Evening, Julese.
Good evening, Cindy.
I'm
I'm
sorry, people. We were busy chatting.
We've been here about 15 minutes just chatting away.
Well, if that's how the evening's going to go, oh dear.
I woke up naked in my garden on Hunter's Moon the other night. I'll talk about that. And now growing hair in my ears for some reason since. Good evening, Irish. Why don't you change the name? Well, look at it. Smash. I haven't seen you for ages. Where have you been
Hi, yes,
hiding?
Smash, darling. Hello, Ellen.
Good
Do you
evening,
know,
Ellen.
let's just put this in here. I was just telling Julese that my StreamYard was telling me I wasn't set to go live until the 22nd of October. And I'm like, that's not right, because on YouTube, it's telling me I'm live in a few minutes. And it's still telling me at the top of StreamYard, when I just went click go live, it says, you're not due to go live until the 22nd of October. Do you want to do this?
Oh,
So already I'm being attacked.
happy belated birthday, Christian. It'll be a lovely time. So good evening.
Oh,
Look who it is.
Happy
Little legs. Good evening,
Hello,
little
little
legs.
legs. Hello, Lammy. Hello. Oh, hello, Ding. Oh, my word. Wow.
We've
What
all
a
woke up
day
to,
and
I married my horror smash. Well, I hold my hand, I'm afraid. Yeah, should be.
Hiya,
Ain't that below?
Willow.
Good
Let me
evening,
know when
Willow.
you want to jump up, Willow, and I'll put the link out for you, darling. Wow. Wow, what can I say? It's been a bit of an eventful weekend already.
Oh, good evening, no fucks, no frills, no mercy. Oh, I like that name.
Now, you see, I won't say that. I always go NF, NF, NF.
Oh, no, I'll say it. I'm in the mood to say it tonight.
Maybe I should
Good.
just go with the flow and just say these naughty words.
Yeah, good evening, Ding.
I've
Good
got to
evening,
load it
Ellen.
up on my mobile. Right, let me load it up on my mobile so I can
You're
keep
not,
an
you're
eye
not
on
going to
it.
believe they're letting off on the street again. Fireworks. Bloody fireworks. Good
Yeah,
evening.
fireworks are going off all night here already.
Need
I
to
mean,
start the
it's good
cry.
the dog isn't frightened of them. That's all I can say.
Just letting everyone know I'm drinking.
I've got my Bacardi by the pint.
I do
I'm
well,
not
Mosh.
letting the side down.
Well, I'm not drinking. I can't drink yet till I've been thinking, you know.
Oh, I bloody am. Jesus Christ.
I wish I
Mr. F
was.
was drinking last night. He was out with the lads last night. He rolled in absolutely half cut. So I had a kind of a conversation with him when he came in. And then I says to him this morning when he woke up, I says, do you remember what you did last night? And he says, no, what? I says, well, you just came in and you started singing and dancing around the living room. He says, no, I did not. I said, no, you're right, you didn't. I love pulling his leg.
Good evening, Randy. No bullying in here, please. Now,
So it's my night to drink. Woohoo! Oh, Willow, don't be nervous, but whenever you're ready, just let me know. So,
I wish I could drink tonight. Honestly, I would love to get absolutely rotten. I can't remember the last time I had a good drink, you know that. But I've made plans. Over Christmas this year, I'm going for a night out.
are
I'm not
you?
stop. Yes. Well, obviously, I'm not going abroad this Christmas. More's a
Hmm.
pity. So I'm going to go out. I'm definitely going out Mad Friday. Well, that'd be crazy. The pubs are packed here.
Oh, they're
Don't tell
heaving
me I'm
out
mind.
on that Friday. Oh, hiya, Norris. Good to see you.
Good evening, Norris. Julie's good at. Well, I made them. I still.
Lammy, do not encourage her. She's absolutely high as a kite on paracetamol.
Well, I haven't took any for a few days. I've been feeling fine till I go for the scan, and then that's it. Julie, there are people in here that don't know me. Please don't give them the impression I'm a bully. One day, stop messaging me and telling me and laughing at Billy's little legs. I know. Cindy, did you get that message? It just said you as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Say, Randy, you had it already. Stop laughing at Billy's little leg.
Right, before we start, I'm going to play the disclaimer because I'm not having the blame for anybody wetting the bed tonight. Right, where is my little disclaimer? There we
Copyright disclaimer
go.
under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
There. So anybody wets the bed tonight, it's your own fault, not mine or Julese's.
No. Well, it could be mine because I might turn up at your just scared you.
And since you told everybody that story about when I went out and I was on them buckets of cocktails, I've never been
Yeah.
able to live it down. Everywhere I'm going, Rachel, not that Rachel. She goes, at least I didn't fall in the bath fully clothed, Cindy.
Oh, good evening, Mr. G. Oh, well done.
Hiya, G-man. Oh, dear. I don't come on lives until I wet myself, so it's... Well, if any of you have any spooky stories you want to share with us, feel free to come on the panel and have a chat with us and share the story with everyone. If you have moments of deja vu, or whether you've just got an eerie inkling or feeling like spidey sensations going on and you want to tell us about that, that's fine. Don't be scared of us. We don't bite. Well, Julese does, but I don't.
Good evening, Tom and Grace. I only bite and it ends with a Y. So you're all, oh, no, you're not safe. Why are people scared to get on with us? I don't understand it. I don't
I've
get
got no clue.
I think we're two effing delights myself.
Of course we are. Angels. That's what we are.
Exactly.
Angels.
We often have little legs. I
See,
don't mind a
Willow's
nibble.
want to nibble.
Well, I know. I'd gone for the full-on bite there, Willow. Why not?
Yeah. And when she's really happy, she might draw blood. Oh, that's it. I've started the rumour you're a vampire now.
I thought I'd been called a witch before. And the bigger
Well,
celebration.
we've been both called witches before, along with everything else. Are you doing a Ouija board? No, Lameg. Do you know, my husband has a Ouija board down the cellar, and it's very, very old. And the last time he tinkered about with it, he was in maybe his mid to late teens with his sister and things. And it was very nasty and it frightened the life out of them. So they went and consulted a white witch, and she told them that they had to wrap it and leave it to rot in the cellar. Don't burn it or anything like that. It has to be left to rot. So that's where it's been, and that's where it's staying. And it's still in the same place, still in its original wrapping, and I will not even go near it. I've got 3 sections in the cellar, and it's in the far end of the cellar in this little room, locked away, and I can't even bring myself to go into that room. And that's the only thing that's in that part of the cellar. There's no way on hell you will get me to go in that room where that Ouija board is. So
I've never played with but then again, my house is haunted as shit. So, oh, Mr. G, do you want me to bite me? Julius, you don't need Halloween. You don't need Halloween because you look like a tree to today.
oh.
Good evening, Scrooge. That's so sweet, Danny.
What, you after, Raider? Hey?
Oh, don't say that, Limmy's drinking.
Is he drinking? Oh my God.
Yeah, put in the chat, he's drinking.
They only move as people move the coin or a glass. It's normally me moving it, squidgy, you little bugger. Oh. What about tarot cards? How do you feel about tarot cards?
Good evening, 420. Oh, I've had my fortune done. I had a friend, she sadly passed away, but she used to do them. And it's weird, right? Because she was in a wheelchair and I used to go around her house. Good evening, Dave. I hope you're well, love.
Are
I
you
used to go around her house a couple of days a week. A couple of days a week, I'd go around and I'd like play up for her. You know, just do a little bit in pieces. Good evening, Ian. I hope you're well, love. So, anyhow, this day I went in and I seen these tarot cards and I said, "We don't have tarot cards." She went, "Yeah, of course I will." So she went, "Les." The card, I put the cards on. She went, "There's going to be a change." And I said, "Well, I bloody hope so." She said, "No, in the next 6 months, it's going to be a big upheaval." Right. So she was telling us other stuff. I'm not going to repeat. But her husband was always on police scanners. Right? With
Mm.
he'd headphones on. He'd be sitting in the living room with us. And so it kind of just like vanished out the living room this night. So a couple of weeks later, I went round and it was at night time. And my ex was in the house with the kids, obviously. So she went, look, I've got some, because I was saying, like, I'm suspicious he's cheating and all this. I said, there's things that went on that I had used to have these dreams, right? And that's what happened. I dreamt exactly where she lived. And my mate said, it's just a dream. I said, no, I'm telling you, I know where she lives. So, and it wasn't in my town. And it was precisely exactly, I knew what road she lived on.
Mm.
So, anyhow, she went, Liz, look, she said, I've got something. And she had like a mini tape recorder. And she said, now, if you press play, this is going to change your life, but in a good way. So I pressed play. And I could hear the conversation between him and his bit on the side that her husband had taped. So she went, like, knock it off now. I went, no, 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 no. Let me hear it all. So she went, and she went to grab it, so I moved to the other side. So it sounds awful because obviously she used to be in a wheelchair, but she was in a high back chair. So I knew she couldn't have come up and got it off us.
Mm.
So then she said, you can have the tape if you want the tape. So I took it. And I came round all night. Now I'd already said to him, I want you out tonight. When I come back, you're gone. So I walked in and I went in, where's your bags? I went, what bags? So I told you you've got. And he went, no, you didn't. I says, I did. So he's standing there, I went upstairs, got some stuff, and he was saying, something, it's all in your head, you're crazy and all that. The guilt eats them that much and they blame you for dreaming all this. And as he was going out the door, I said, oh, tell such and such. I said, I hope she's okay. Good evening, Mr. T. And he
Hi,
went white.
Mr. T.
He went white. So the next day he came up, because my ex-father-in-law used to take the kids on a Saturday. So he came round and he said, we need to talk. And as he walked in, God, I just pressed play on me, stereo system. Like he was there to talking.
Oh, God.
And he like run at it, like took it out and I says, oh, you think there's only one? I says, your girlfriend's been sending me every time you talk. And then I said to him where she was from. And he looked at me and he went, what? And I knew I was right, but I was dreaming that. Nobody told us I dreamt it. The day didn't stay. Because I was like my dad, we would dream weird things and it would
Mm.
always end true. But my
Wow.
house is haunted as hell. But my sister said to us, she phoned us last week and we tried coming in, she said, it's been, and I says, oh, I said, my God, it's been very quiet. And she went, you and your bloody ghost. She came in when we were kids and that house was haunted. That we lived in, obviously, when we were kids. Good evening, Andy. And I went, yeah, yeah. And she went, and it's funny, she said, because you moved into the other house, at my first house. She said, and there was talk of that being haunted. Then you moved in this end, the one you're in now, and you keep saying that's definitely haunted. I said, oh, it is. I said, it used to touch, this female ghost used to touch a little bear
Oh.
on his arm. And he came down one day, and the last time it happened, he was like 16. He went, that's it. I went out that bedroom. You're going to have to move me into the big bedroom at the back. I can't sleep in there in the bed. She keeps touching me. And even to this day, he'll say to us, I don't know if it was her, but I just felt this like a cold draft down my arm. So, she said, it could be you. It's you. She, because that was the same. She said, it's you, maybe the following. I said, no, 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 no. I don't want them following me. I don't mind them being here, but I don't want them following us. Said you, if I wouldn't, if I do a dollar of me, can you take some stuffing out? I'm on a diet. No, Andy, I'm going to put extra in. There you go. That's the kind of mood I'm in, Andy. I'm going to stuff it even more.
Oh, my
I'm on
word.
a diet. Well, I'm not on a diet. I'm
Seafood and
just, well, no, I'm just trying to lose some weight. So then, come Christmas, I'm going to be out on the town.
Hmm.
Thinking too much. I just want to put loads of weight on for Christmas. So I lose it now.
Everybody does though at Christmas. We all go a bit overboard.
Yeah, no, but my plans are not to be in much of a Christmas. To be out on the piece a lot. Good evening, Ian. Like, good evening, Peggy. Hope you're well, lovely.
Hiya, Peggy. I want to tell you this little story that Mr. S told me about. Right, so we live in a house that was built in the 1900s, and Mr. S's dad's mother-in-law died in the house. The doctor came out and he wrote the death certificate and everything, and she was laid out in the front room because that's what they did back then. And he goes to bed, gets up next day, goes downstairs, gets himself a cup of coffee and goes outside, you know, to have a smoke.
Yeah.
Well, as he gets outside, there's his mother-in-law up the top of the garden, sat down, and he said, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be dead." And it was like he was gobsmacked, you know. And of course, those days, the doctors, they just listened for a heartbeat with their own ears. They didn't do any of this argy-bargy stuff that we all know they do now to confirm a death. And so they just, you know, went about the day, although he was a bit, you know, he was a bit uneasy about it all through the day. Went to bed, and the next morning he gets up and she's actually dead. Actually dead. He just, you know, he was flummoxed, and it's so weird, you know, how it all happened, and with her dying the very next day. And I remember him telling me that story not long after we first met, because it follows on to how one day when I fully moved into this house, and I was pregnant, I went upstairs to the bathroom, and I think I was about 8 months pregnant, and I got to the top of the stairs on my way back down, and I literally felt 2 hands on my back pushing me down the stairs. Well, I screamed blue murder. Mr. S comes rushing out of the front room. He's going, "What's the matter?" And I said, "Somebody's pushing me down the stairs." And he's like going, "Oh, holy hell, not again." And I go, "What do you mean, not again?" Well, then he proceeds to tell me this story about an old friend of the family who came to the house previously and left pretty sharpish. And she didn't come back for a good 10, 15 years. And the first words out of her mouth was, when he opened the door to her, was, "Please don't let me walk past your staircase." And he says, "What's the matter?" And he says, "Well, when I went upstairs to the bathroom the last time, somebody was pushing me back down the stairs." And it was, the hairs on my arms and the back of my neck just went straight up, and I couldn't, you know, and I just said to him, like, "Why is your house so haunted?" And he goes, "I don't know." He says, "But when my dad was ill, not long before he actually passed away, he saw people coming out of the mirror, walking around the house and going straight through the wall where the settee was against. And they were all people dressed up in like wartime clothing." And it was like a line of children, like evacuees with the tags round the necks. And it was all them walking through the house. And even in the hallway, he has a thing about not putting up any people that are alive in photographs or pictures in the hallway. Every picture that's in our hallway are of his father, his mother, or you know, other family members that have passed away, because he doesn't want any more things happening in the house, basically. And we still have the Victorian bells You know, the
Yeah,
board.
yeah,
You used to ring the bell for service in it, because this
yeah,
house was built because they had servants.
yeah,
His great grandparents had servants in the house, so obviously each room has a bell where they call for service and this, that, and
mm,
the other. And the one evening, the bells started ringing on the board, and like, they shouldn't be ringing; they're disconnected. And
oh,
he's gone to see, and on the board it shows you which room the bell's ringing in. So he's run straight into this front room that I'm actually sat in now, and looked at the buzzer where the bell is, and it's pushed in, and it's been painted over. And you cannot move that button for love nor money. But it was actually pushed in, and it was still going. So he literally had to chisel the paint away to unblock the buzzer, and
yeah.
then he literally ripped it out of the wall, because that was, for something like that to happen just like that, that's just freaky. That's
God,
freaky shit.
they're
uh,
all. Oh, hang on. Everybody that just come in. Good evening, everybody. There's too many years to say. I'm saying my cousin, I told you when she lived in that house down at Eaton, right?
hmm,
They moved in there, and it was like that because there were big houses down there. Nothing had really been changed. I mean, some of the furniture had, but it was quite an old house. And I told you, the plans were we were going to Addington Shore the next morning, and I was young, and her daughter, obviously I'm not going to say the names, we were stopping with her for the night because her husband was at work. So the plan was, so they moved in with this guy, right, who had the house because he didn't want to be on his own, and all of us knew him. We grew up with this guy, always been up at Clifton where we used to live.
hmm.
So we went and stopped and went for a walk down the shore. She made us our supper, and she's like, "Come on, you two, it's time for bed." Now, obviously, it was summer, so it was still very light outside. I was saying, "Oh, we don't want to go to bed, G, please." No, she said, "Come on, you're going to bed." Your mum said, "I've got to get to bed at a certain time." So we went to bed. Now, they were all like the old doors, but it was like lockdown.
I'm sorry.
I said,
That just tickled me. You poor squidgy.
so,
Right, carry on.
so we went to bed, and I was on outside the bed. It was a double bed, and there was like the doors upstairs. There was glass in them, but they were all hand painted. They were absolutely beautiful. They were. So lying there in bed, and now we knew there was only us three in the house, right?
Hmm.
The guy that owned that house, he was a night watchman, so he wasn't in. Our husband was at work because he works shift, so he wasn't in, and they weren't coming back to the morning. So lying in bed, and you know the old pig boots. Them still, I mean, you could do them, couldn't you? I'm not the girls have got this year, but you can still go into gosh, oh my god. And so, so I could hear these footprints walking towards us. But I turned around and I could see like this dark outcast of somebody standing there. And this person definitely was way over 6 foot. And I started screaming. I mean, I was only a kid. Um, oh,
Take
thank
care
you,
of
dear Sam.
yourself.
So and then she started screaming because she saw it, right? And then they started, was he a dirty old man, Jules? Can't remember. I have no idea. And he started trying the door handle, but the door handle was just going like, it was one of the old round ones, and it was just going back and forth. And I was screaming. So she came up the stairs and it disappeared. I was going, there's somebody in the house, there's somebody. She was saying, no, there is not. Stop being stupid, get to sleep. I know you two's little tricks. I mean, listen, right? I used to say to my little cousin, right, we'd meet in Toggies on a Saturday night, say, I cry so I can stop at your house. I would get her to cry so I could go up to Clifton and stop. And they all knew that I was, and me Andrew would say, you little bitch. I know it's you. I don't know what you're on about. So I was very You know, I was a little bitch. I was. Gonna admit it. So I was sobbing, right? I was terrified. And then she went downstairs and they came back again. I pulled a pillar over my head just so I couldn't see it. So in the morning, we gets up and she's gone, used to. I've not slept a bloody week, a week of sleep. I could hear you walking around. Now, it definitely wasn't us, right? So she went, you can get, I'm not even giving you breakfast. We're going up to, like, Auntie, my mum's house, basically. So we know. And she went, look tired, lass. She's tired. These two have had me up all night, bloody screaming. They could see somebody in the house, this, that, and t'other. And I could hear them walking around all night. She went, they have pit boots on. And she looked at me, she said, how did you know? She said, look at the feet. Have you got any pit boots that would fit them? Oh, she said, no, shit, no, I haven't. She said, you do know the house is haunted, and that's why you won't stop there for night time. That's why I got a night's watchman job. So the local paper here decided to pay two guys money to go and stay the night. They went in with the dog jumped out the window. They stayed in there for 45 minutes. I think I should have got that money because I stayed overnight with a freaking gun though. But then she started noticing things when she was on her own. So definitely same from the movie. I swear to God, it's terrifying in that place. I would never. And if my mum said, come on, we'll go down and see it, I've got, nah, I'm not going in there.
No.
It was terrifying. Just a normal house. I swear to God, the most. And she said it was that bad that when he came home from work, we would out go and have our tea on the shore in the van and we would take pillars. So when they moved up to Clifton, right, they finally got a house of their own to Clifton. The old fella used to come and stop at theirs on his nights off because she said he would just sit in an armchair and fall asleep because he wouldn't stop in there on his own and he was scared to sell it. Dog jumped up the window. Yes, it was terrified itself. Yeah, I've stopped in many haunted houses.
Dogs are very susceptible to spirits, aren't they?
Mm.
They know when something's in the house. I mean, if they can hear a cheese wrapper from 50,000
Yes.
paces, I'm sure, you know, they know who's in the house.
I bet I can make you script. Dan, how much have you had to drink?
He's going to be a mother tonight, isn't he? Hiya, Sparky.
Good evening, Sparky. My dog would stand at the bottom of our stairs and just growl, and there would be nobody there.
Oh, my dog does that. He's just, well, mind you, he's not all there anyway. He's mental, my dog. He would be living with me. But,
Anybody else going to jump on and tell us their ghost stories? Come on.
yeah, if you want
Just
to jump
mention
on, let
this.
me know. I'll put the link out. I mean, I think most of you might know a little bit what happened to me when my mum passed away.
Oh, dear.
I was sleeping at the bungalow on the sofa and I shouted out 63. And my stepdad says, are you okay? What's the matter? And I was fast asleep. So he left me. And in the morning, he says, what was you shouting 63 for in the night? And I says, was I? He goes, yeah, you shouted it that loud. I actually come in and tried to wake you up. And I went, I don't know. Well, the night before, I had to go to the undertaker's and pay the deposit on my mum's funeral.
Mm.
And it happened to be 1,500. And as it happens, after the day after her funeral, I played online bingo and I won the jackpot. And it came to 1,500 on number 63.
Bloody
And
hell.
yeah, and I swear to this day that was my mum shouting the number 63 at me, and I shouted it out, and it was, you know, it was just oof, it was meant to be, kind of
What about
thing.
when someone come and sat on your bed?
Oh my God, yeah. It was not long after we'd got married, and I already had our son then,
Yeah.
and got into bed, and I woke up be about 1:30, 2:00 in the morning, and I felt the bottom of the bed go down as if somebody was sat on the bottom of the bed. Well, I sat up and I looked and I thought, am I awake or what? Because I wasn't sure. And all I saw was this vision of my husband's mum, who had passed away, sat on the bottom of the bed looking at me and just
No.
staring. And I couldn't move. I was frozen. And I was trying to wake my husband up, but my arms wouldn't move. I couldn't speak. And it was like that for a solid 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden, she just wasn't there anymore. And I saw the bed rise back up.
Oh no, don't you freak
Well,
me out.
after that, oh my God, I did not sleep. I got out of bed. I'm waking the husband up and I'm going, get up, get up. I'm going, your mum's here, your mum's here. And he's like, well, why didn't you wake me up? And I said, I couldn't bloody move. I said, I was like frozen. I couldn't speak. And he goes, well, don't be afraid of the dead because they can't hurt you. It's the
No,
living you need to be afraid of.
my mum used to say
So
that to me all the
quite
time.
often, we are always so, well, let's say 90% of people are always so scared to actually see an apparition or what we think is an apparition. How many people actually believe that people do come back and visit you? In the chat, just put a 1 in the chat if you believe that people can come back and visit you in the spirit form. Let's see how many people actually believe. Because it's quite interesting, because I hear these stories all the time about things. And when
Oh,
I
well,
tell my story,
Squidgy, we expected nothing different from you. Good evening, Poo. Good evening, Wishy. Good
hiya,
evening, Mary.
people,
Good
Wishy.
evening, Beats.
What did Squidgy say?
69.
Oh, for God's sake, Squidge.
I seen one. I was like, thought, because my middle sister had moved out of my room. I say my room, the biggest room, the idiot that she is. And I was in the big room on my own. And I was in my bed. Now, my dad would always go to bed early. Always. So there was me and my mum and my middle sister downstairs. The oldest, my brother left home by then, he was married. The oldest sister was married. So there was only us two. And I believe it, I want to see it. Okay, watching for tonight, Randy. I'll turn up and scare you. So,
What's with one?
and
But
then we went to bed, and I was the last one because, it's like, before you go to bed, everybody goes to the toilet, right? Now, it was winter, so, I mean, nobody's going to use the downstairs toilet because it's effing freezing down there. So I was the last one because I'm the youngest I've got to wait, apparently. So my mum went in her room, she gave us a kiss, she said, good night, darling. So, anyhow, I came out, went in my bedroom, and I'm one of these. I can't sleep with the bedroom door open. It's got to be pitch black, right? In my room. I've always been the same. So my mum had moved my bedroom round. Now, where I used to sleep was beside the window, so I never seen any light because obviously there was a light outside. So I'm lying in my bed, and I'm just lying on my side, going to sleep, and just something told us to turn round. I don't know why. I just turned round, and there was a woman standing there, as if she was looking out my bedroom window. I thought, I mean, I could see her completely. Like, I mean, she looked a bit misty, but she looked like, and I'm like, what the? And I couldn't take my eyes off her. She turned around and looked at us. I started walking towards us. I couldn't scream. I was too scared. I mean, I was fucking shit myself. I was terrified, right? I got the bed covers, put it off my head. No lie, right? I was terrified.
Because the sheet is going to protect you, isn't it?
Exactly. Can't see it. It's not there. So in the morning, I woke up. I must have fell asleep. Don't know how, but I must have fell asleep, right? And my bed sheet was still over my head. And I like pulled it back, and it was morning, but my bedroom door was open. Well, they can walk through doors, apparently walls and what have you, but So I came down. I was always early riser, and so was my dad. So I went downstairs. I said, "Have you been in my room this morning, Dad?" He said, "No." He said, "Why was your bedroom door open?" I said, "Oh, maybe Mum's got up through the night and opened it and checked on it." "No," he says, "Your mum never." He said, "Listen, doll, when does your mum ever get up through the night?" Well, she doesn't. So she came down in the morning and I was telling them, and my dad said, "What did they look like?" So I described this woman, and my dad walked out the house into his shed, and my mum went to me, "You've described his mum." Now, I'd never met, obviously, my dad's parents. I'd seen pictures of my granddad,
Mm.
but I'd never seen one of my nana. Um, so he came back in and he showed us a picture. I said, "Yeah, that's her." I said, "That's my mummy."
Wow.
Mm.
Oh my word. Have you ever been to see a medium?
Well, I went to one and she went, "Let's can't read you." And I says, "Why can't you read us?" Now, I told you my sister had gone to
Yeah.
one and she was amazing. Now, my sister had said to her, she was buying a brand new car, and she said, "The car I've got, I'm going to give it to Little Bear. It's insured, you know what I mean? He'll go through our my insurance and I'll take him on driving lessons." So I said, "No, I said, "You don't." She said, "No, no, I want to do it for him, you know." So I came downstairs the next day and I was telling him, I said, "Mum, I'm not ready to drive. I don't feel like right now is the right time for me." He said, "I don't know why, I just feel that way."
Mm.
So I hadn't told her anything. So that week, she'd gone to see this medium. And she said, she started talking to her and she said, "There's a lot of G's here and there's a couple of J's." Now, obviously, in my family, I'm the only J, right? So
Right.
she said, I started panicking. And I said, "No, Granddad's brother." She went, "I never knew that." I said, "Yeah, and there's another one, is, Granddad's brother's son, the two J's." So she'd said, "Claire, right." She said, "The car." She said, "What car?" She said, "The car you're giving to that young lad, don't give me." She was not ready to drive yet. Now, I hadn't told her that. But
Mm.
how would this woman know that she was? And then she'd said about my nephew, he just bought a brand new house, and that's when they'd been in the army and that. And he was starting this new job, right, at Sellafield. Now, the thing is, when you go for a job at Sellafield, you have to wait for a pass because they have to check you out.
Yeah.
They go through your full, if you've got any criminal history or if you were talked to about any crime, everything. Because obviously, it's a power plant. So he told his boss that he got this job and he was they sacked him.
Oh,
So, but at that time he hadn't. And she said, he's going to come to a little, she said, he's been to look at a brand new car, tell him to buy it. Tell him to wait 3 months. So she told him, he said, that was it. And she told her what kind of car it was. So when she'd phoned my nephew and told him, he said, "We've been to see one today. We went to see one on Sunday." She said, "Well, you have to buy it because you're gonna come into a financial difficulty for a couple of months." And that week he was fired because he got a new
oh my
job.
word.
So, so she told her a couple of her things that honestly nobody could have known. But her words was, now her mother-in-law at the time was in a nursing home because she had dementia, and she said, "Claire, I see a motherly figure that's not going to make it after Christmas." So she, because her mother-in-law was dying, and it was my mum. She died at Christmas
Oh
that year.
my God.
So I do believe them. When I went to say one, I walked in, sat down and that, and she went to me, "I can't read you." I went, "I'm not that bad about it." And she went, "No, they've got something about you." She said, "Have you ever been tested? Have you ever?" And I said, "No, no, no, no." She says, "Yeah, you're a bit psychic." Because am I? I said, "Well, if I'm psychic, why am I all skint?" For God's sake.
Are you
She
sure
didn't
she didn't
mention
get
it.
mixed up the vowels mixed
Psycho.
up and psycho and psychic?
She said, "Listen, no, you dream." And I said, "Yeah, I do." Well, I said, "Everybody dreams." She said, "No, you dream things." I said, "Yeah, I do." She said, "That's why you can't." And
Wow.
Julie should do a storytelling channel, a bit like watching Andy. Like what it says the same thing, right? He says the same thing. But honestly, she said, "Liz," she said, "No," she said, "You dream things." How would she know that? Because me and my dad were exactly the same. He'd done the same thing. He would get up and he would say to me, he went to me one day, said, don't go up to near the graveyard today. Now, I went to St. Joseph's School, right in town, Catholic school,
Mm.
and there was an old graveyard attached, well, beside the church, behind the church. And sometimes we'd cut up through there. And he went to me, don't go through the graveyard today. I went, well. So it depends if it's raining, we'll be running for the bus, but if we're walking it, no, don't go through the graveyard today. So I didn't. Or Jack and Ori. I didn't. And a couple of days later, I said, so why? He said, a few gravestones fell down last night. Fell down. And I went, why have you? He said, I went and looked today. He said, but I seen you standing beside one and he fell on you. So that's why I didn't want us to go. And when he went, he said, I thought I'll go and check. He says, and there was two that fell. He says,
Wow.
and the thing is, where you would be standing at was a red pot. Now, we used to walk past that one all the time because it was a very, very old one. And there was a plastic pot there. Somebody put it there, I don't know why, just a plastic pot standing there.
Mm.
And we would walk past it because I always looked at it because it was, I mean, very, very old. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd walk past that and suddenly it would have fell on us. So there you go.
Oh. Talking about graveyards, when I was little, well, I say little, 9 or 10,
Mm.
I used to have a recurring dream, and it always used to be myself. I could see myself flying through the skies, and
Mm.
it was always nighttime, and I was always flying through a graveyard,
Oh,
and I would land and sit on a headstone, and I'd wake up. And every single night for months, I had this dream, and I was having some difficulties concentrating in school, in primary. And my mum asked me what was wrong. And when I told her about this dream, she says, was you a little girl dressed in a Victorian outfit? I said, yeah. She said, I had exactly the same dream when I was growing up and I was your age.
oh my God.
Now that was a freak. That really did freak me out. It really did.
Oh,
It
that's
must have
big as
been
hell.
months and months I was having this recurring dream, and it's scary when you're a kid because you don't understand what's going on,
No.
you
Rachel,
know,
do you know that dreams?
bad dreams.
No, Rachel doesn't have any dreams. I don't dream and I don't have nightmares. I think I'm a bit weird.
I don't know, Rachel, because sometimes they say that you don't actually remember your dreams when you wake up, that a lot of people do
I
dream,
do.
but sometimes they don't remember having that dream. And that's where your deja vu comes into things.
Yeah.
I mean, deja vu is a bit freaky as well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
When you
Good
when it's
evening,
like when you
Bunny.
go out somewhere and you know you've met this person before and you've had exactly the same conversation, but you haven't. It's
You know, when I
weird.
was, telling you, we were talking about this the other week when I said I met Bernie Winters, he knew my cousin and what have you. Now,
Mm,
his wife, her parents had a business in Blackpool, right? And they had this huge office and the biggest fish tank I've ever seen in my life, right? We'd
yeah.
never met these people before. They weren't married then. They were engaged, but they weren't married. So we'd been to something at this caravan, and there was me, my mum, my middle sister, and my auntie. I called her my auntie. And I called them my cousins. Good evening, Asia. I called them my cousins because we were always together. We were always brought up together. So she wasn't my real auntie, and they weren't my real cousins.
Mm,
So we walked in, and my auntie introduced us, and she said, "This is, two daughters." And she looked at my mum, and she shook hands with my mum and what have you. And my mum kept looking at her. And my mum went, "Have I met you before?" And she went, "Do you know something? I'm standing here myself and I'm thinking I've met you." Now, they couldn't have possibly met, right? This
mm.
woman wasn't even from Blackpool. She was way past Blackpool. My mum was born in Cumbria. And she went, "I always dream the middle of my nose is dropped off." Well, I
Well, what can we say
wonder
to
why
that,
I
Chrissy?
squidgy. Um,
The
but
drugs
they
don't
were,
work.
so they were sitting, asking each other questions. things just to see if they could have possibly met somewhere. No, but they knew each other. And she
Mm.
said, I know you, like, I really know you. And my mum says, yeah. So they started really talking. And then she said something to my mum, and my mum went, how the hell, good evening, Teddy. How the hell would you know that? Make a bless, Andy.
Night, Andy. Thank you for
But
coming, my
then
darling.
my mum said something to her, and she went, now, when it was this place, right? And my mum said, yeah, I used to go there. Have you been there? She went, no. So then my mum said something to her, and she went, oh my God. She said, have you been there? That's where we've met. My mum said, no. She, but I don't know why she jumped in my head. And they'd never met in real life, but they knew each other. It's weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Talking about these horror films that they're talking about in the chat, it always reminds me, and I always get the films mixed up because I've watched so many of them. We were sat in the dark the one night watching, and what's the one with the film? Is at the end of the film, they're in a boat and they're just sat there because everything's all gone off, and they're all nice and calm and relaxed, and they think everything's over, and then all of a sudden a hand comes out of the water and grabs them. Well, at that point, Mr. S put his arm around the back of me without me knowing, and when that hand come out of the water, he grabbed me at the shoulder, and I was screaming like a lunatic, and I'm going, you bloody bee, and all this line. I was like, how dare you do that to me,
Now,
for God's sake.
I'm sure that's the scene. I don't know. Big Nuts, are you still in here? Now, I'm sure that's the scene that was done at one of the lakes in Cumbria.
Oof. Oh my God. I swear to God, I could have killed him.
Isn't there like a little boathouse?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's in Cumbria, that scene. Because I've seen the boathouse, and I was looking at the best scene, and I went, like, isn't that the boathouse, that scene? I'm sure it's... Is it Freddie? Yeah, I'm sure it's Freddie.
Gotta be Freddie.
Calvin, no, it's not Jaws, sweeter. We're not talking about Jaws. We're talking about scary... Oh, well, there again, scary films.
I've always had this thing about the Freddie films. And when the hand comes out the bed and the body sinks in the bed, goes through the bed, I would not get into my own bed for nights afterwards.
Oh, you need to watch People Under the Stairs.
Teddy,
really please.
my big brother made me sit and watch this film, and she's going, don't you dare put those films on again when we're out. Freddy versus Jason. Ooh. But
Yeah,
as a teenager watching those films, you either love it or you're shit scared, basically.
I can't watch blood and gore. I can't watch anything that's got blood and gore in. Anything
I can watch blood
supernatural.
and gore.
No, I can't. Anything supernatural, I can watch. Like the house on, what's it called? The house on Hill, the Hill House, is it?
The House on the Hill, or
yeah, that's on Netflix, right?
Right, yeah.
Now, obviously, the Americans got it first, and they've said, "Oh, you can't watch it on your own." I've watched that constantly on my own.
Yeah, but the thing is, I will watch them in the daytime. I watch them at night.
Oh no, I can watch all the ghost stuff, all that. I watch it at night time on my own.
No, not me. I'm sorry, but I'll watch anything in the daytime. I mean, I've watched Autopsy. You remember when the Autopsy was on Channel 4?
I know. So I couldn't watch that. No,
I was watching those with. I was like, yeah, let me. I wanted to see more.
No,
and people thought I was off my trolley because I wanted to see all this. I even watched my own carpal tunnel operation because the surgeon asked me if I wanted to watch it, move my head to the right, and I said, "Oh, okay then." So there I am, and I'm watching, and I can see him picking up my nerve.
Oh no!
And placing it back into the tunnel. Well, it's called the tunnel, isn't it? What it's supposed to be in. And I was watching him sew my arm back up and my hand, and I'm like, wow. I said, have you got a video of it? Have you taped it?
Oh,
and
God,
he says, no. He says, oh my God. He goes, you're one of them, aren't you?
Yeah, I couldn't watch. But even Curbside, I couldn't watch stuff like that. No. Anything to do with blood and gore, no. Right.
When you watch Saw and they're
oh no,
not the limbs to escape, and oh my God, brilliant.
Good evening, Nosy. I could not.
Wangy, I'm so sorry, not. Everybody
Where,
was warned at the beginning. I am not in any way responsible for anybody wetting their beds tonight.
where we lived at Clifton, there was a step, right? Now, this step tried to kill us all. Each one of us has got a scar on our chins where we cracked our chin open. On this
Mm.
step, the same sodden step, right? It's a rubber pitch now where we lived. So my sister, my older sister, said to me, "Good evening, Retro," said to me, "No, you never fell." I said, "I can remember being at work in hospital, in the old hospital." I said, "And I can remember sitting on a trolley as they're pushing me down, and I'm sitting up, and I've got this big thing under my chin." She said, "No, no." She said, "That was her, the middle sister." And I said, "No, no, I'm telling you, it was me." She went, "No." So my middle sister went, "Look, there's my scar." And I said, "Oh, look, I've got an exact same place." And my sister said, "I couldn't remember you doing that." I said, "I can remember it." So I was at my mum's and I said, "Oh, by the way, mum, how old was I when I cracked my chin?" Now they say you don't have any memories until you get to 4 year old, 4 or 5. That's when you get old, that's your first kind of memories between ages 4 and 5. And she went, "You were 2 year old." Weird, isn't it? How I can remember. And I said, like, "Was I in a trolley and I was like holding something under my chin?" She went, "Yeah." She said,
Wow.
"I was beside you." She said, "And there was two guys," because I said there was two guys that was pushing me to wherever I was going. She went,
Mm.
"Yeah." And my sister went, "Oh, what was she?" She went, "Two." She says, "You can't remember that."
Yeah.
I said, "I can." I said, "Obviously I can because I've just bloody told you all
Yeah.
about it."
Yeah. Gav B, you're totally right there, because the
Yeah.
earliest memory I have, I was just over 2 years old, and my dad had took me to the shop to get some sweets.
Hang on, I'm
Um,
just going to mute myself just for a second. I won't be long.
okay. He took me to the shop to go and get some sweets. Lo and behold, I didn't know then that that was the day my dad decided to do one. And he just took us to the shop, bought us some sweets, and never seen him again until I was 27. So yeah, you can remember things from the age of 2. I firmly believe that. There's some things that I think we like to suppress and don't want to remember. I firmly believe that too. So guys, the link is pinned at the top. If you want to come on and share a spooky story with us, or a moment of deja vu that you've experienced, please hit the link, pop up. We won't bite you. Jaleese will, but I won't. RPP. So, yeah, cognitive thinking starts at the age of 2. Yeah. Calvin, we remember. Yes, we know you've been abducted, my darling. Yeah, we know, by the aliens. But if you want to tell us your alien story, you're more than welcome to come up and tell us. So, Squidgy, I can't remember last night, let alone when I was 2. Squidgy, you barely remember what you've done that morning, my darling. Oh, dear. But Willow, if you're there, are you feeling brave enough yet to pop up and tell us your story? If you're not, don't worry. The link is there whenever you're ready. But, I welcome anybody to come up. I'm sure you don't want to listen to my boring little stories all night. But hey, right, do you know what? While Jaleese is away, I'm going to play a little one of my little shorts. It's got nothing to do with spooky things, but I'll just play it just for the fun of it. Oh, Willow, don't, honestly, it's fine. Come up, you'll be very welcome. People won't mind in the chat either. You just ignore everybody. Right, let's have a look. Let's see if I can find what I want to play just while Jaleese isn't here. It might be quite funny, actually, but we'll see. Right, here we go. Hello, me lovelies. It's 2077, me dears. And as you can see, I'm still on YouTube. I will not let anybody defeat me. Never, 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 never. I'm sorry, I just had to play that because I was going through my shorts earlier and I was absolutely in stitches. Oh, yeah. PP, jump on and give Willow some moral support. I mean, we spoke to Willow earlier and she's lovely. I don't know why she's so shy with us, or everybody knows her. We're fine. Yes, of course you can, Rachel. Yeah, go ahead. Calvin, you're not shy. Pull the other one. Right. Let me do. Oh, it is. Yeah. Okay. Got your PP. There we go. Hello, my
Hello.
darling.
Hello. What an
How are
intriguing
you?
conversation. I'm good.
Have
I'm
you got
trying
any
to
spooky stories?
I have.
Oh,
And I'm a non-believer.
oh, okay. Come on then. Hit us with it.
Right. This is a mad one going back years. And it is from, I've got to say, I don't like saying it, but it's from prison. But I was in a prison in Kent where you got a lot of people coming in who was, because it's near a airport, obviously there's a lot of people coming in for importation. Well, there's one guy in there who was from Africa, and obviously they're renting the country, they're smuggling drugs, so there's no chance. Back then, you're not going to get bail, you're going to get nothing. So I used to talk to this guy who's very spiritual, this guy was, and he got bail, and I was like, wow, how did he do that? And I was talking to him, and he gave me this Bible, and in this Bible, he had these, it was like a phrase wrote, and he said, what you got to do is read this, I think he said twice a day, every day, exactly the same time for a week. Right, and it'll get you out. So I stood by it and done it every day for a week. Now on a Saturday, now this was a Saturday, the screws opened my door up in Latchmere House, I was in Latchmere House then, and said, because I'd been arrested in Kent, but they shipped me to Latchmere, obviously because I was from London. In there, they brought out that they had to produce you in Crown Court in a certain amount of time. If they didn't, they've lost their holding warrant. So my holding warrant had run out. So there was a big debate going on this Saturday morning. I ended up getting out. I actually got out of prison. My light's flickering now. I'm getting scared. My light is flickering. Let me put this camera on. Look. Oh, it stopped now. It stopped now. It stopped. Right, I actually got out, but I paid a big price for it because I did end. Oh, it's going again. Look. Blimey, I'm being haunted. Hopefully, I don't get a fist. You see it going, eh? But I think that's the battery. You vibrated. I mean, not me vibrator. I was joking, but yeah, I ended up paying a big price for that because I ended up getting a very long sentence for something I shouldn't have done halfway through. So there was a price for that, but it was amazing, and that is a true story.
Wow.
And I've said that on here years ago.
Wow.
Willow, yes.
Welcome, Weeping Willow. I know she were having some sound issues earlier, so whether it's still playing her up, I don't know.
Yeah, bless. It'd be good to hear her because she's very spiritual, isn't she, Willow?
She is. Yeah, she definitely is.
Yeah.
She'll come back when she'll come back when she's sorted it out. Bless her. Wow.
Yeah. So it's a mad one, and I'm a non-believer of it all, but that freaks me out.
Do you ever feel moments of deja vu?
Yeah, of course I get deja vu. Yeah.
It is a real thing, I believe, isn't it? What about superstitions, PP? Are you superstitious?
Gut instincts. I've had things telling me don't do what you're going to do, and I've ignored them, and I've paid a mighty price for that too.
What about the normal everyday superstitions like walking under ladders, stepping on cracks.
No, I won't
No.
do that. Won't walk under. I'll
No.
step on crack, but I won't walk under the ladder.
No, I am absolutely a non-believer of all that.
Really?
Um,
I won't
yeah.
walk under a ladder, and I won't step on cracks.
Oh no, stepping on them some other days, but I won't walk under the ladder. I don't even think that's because of superstition. I'm just scared that something falls on us.
Yeah.
So I think it's just that for me. I'm not. It's like if they say a black cat walking in front of you. Right, you haven't lived on my road. Loads of them. So no, it's I don't magpies. Yeah, we've got. So I don't. I'm not superstitious.
Mm.
I won't walk under ladder. As I say, that's just because I'm scared something might fall on us.
Phil,
What is the magpie? That's 1 for Zorro, 2 for Joy,
3
3
for
for a girl
girls,
and 4 for a
4
boy.
for boy, 5 for
And
silver, 6 for
6
gold.
for gold, 7 for a story never to be told. I can't remember
That's it,
the rest.
yeah.
Calvin, I can't
And
help myself.
and if you
Right.
see magpies hanging around, and if you see one, I always have to ask Mr. S to look at that magpie, and if you see 2 together, that's fine. But if you see 1 on its own, I have to get Mr. S to look at the magpie so it takes away the bad luck. That's just the way I've always been. Right, let's try and add Willow back to the panel.
Yes.
Hiya, Willow.
Hi.
Hello.
Willow.
Welcome.
Yeah.
It's good to hear
Hallelujah. Oh,
you.
wait. Can you hear an
Your
echo?
sound's
Yeah.
going weird again, Willow. I don't. What did you do before? Did you not put your headphones in? I think that's what you done before, didn't you?
I'm having mad sound issues here.
Oh, we can hear you nice and clear now.
No, I can hear you now. Right. So if I just disappear,
Very
you know
clear,
why,
yes.
Cindy?
Good
Because
up,
he's in the
Willow.
shower. Right. So
You-
I've got me grandpa here, but he's in the shower at the
Oh,
moment,
right,
so
okay.
I'm fine. But if I disappear, you know he's come down.
Yeah, no problem.
And not being funny, but I just don't want people hearing his voice. Oh, I heard Mr. S before. It was weird because Jim last night was saying, "I've never heard Mr. S's voice. Have you heard it?" And I went, "No."
I bet, did you say, is she even married? Is he real? Oh, yes,
Yes,
he
he
is.
definitely is real. I have heard him.
Yeah.
Good evening, Philly.
Oh, my word. Just jump in, Willow, whenever you're ready, my darling. We'll shut up.
It's just an echo all the time.
I don't. What did you do before? I think he had your headphones on, and that's it, because it
got
went
shut.
okay after a while, didn't he?
I've done everything I think I should have done. I'm just old.
You're okay now.
Yeah, we can hear you now, Echo.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not superstitious. Which is
I'm going to jump off, ladies, and be in the chat, but I will jump back on again if you
Okay,
need me.
thank
Just I need to conserve my power because my lead, I've just broke my lead. I tripped over it walking in the
yeah.
dark.
You
Oh, have
naughty.
fun.
I'll be back up. I know.
All right then, darling. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Big
So-
up the beautiful.
Good
So,
night,
Willow,
baby.
you want to share a story with us?
No, it's
Just-
gone again.
Yeah, it's gone again, hasn't it?
Melvin, we tried before. We can't on this end.
Yeah. We got it
No.
working great earlier.
Yeah. Good evening,
I
Stevie.
can't leave. Can you kick me off, Cindy?
Oh, with pleasure.
You done that a bit too quick, Cindy. I didn't even get a chance to finish his sentence. He was gone.
Never asked me to kick off. So, we've lost Willow as well. Bless her.
Oh, so
She'll
just
try
one,
again.
yeah.
I'm sure she'll try again. She's having really bad sound issues, but
Yeah.
we did get it going earlier when we had a little conversation earlier. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's hit and miss, isn't it? Yeah, I know, Willow. Well, we'll try
Sometimes
again at some point.
it's just StreamYard sometimes. It just doesn't accept some certain phones, I
Well,
think,
it's like
because
I said to you at the beginning, according to my StreamYard, I was not supposed to be going live until Tuesday, the 22nd of October. Well, obviously, I'm not, because according to YouTube, I am live tonight. So something's going off there as well.
yeah, sometimes it's a certain phones, Willow, that it won't accept.
Hmm. Oh, bless you, Willow. Right, so anybody else at all want to just jump up and tell us a spooky, eerie thing that's happened to you, or whether you even believe in those kind of things?
Yeah.
You know, I'm open to hear anybody's opinions on them. Because myself, you know, I've had one or two things happen where I now actually do believe in these things. Before I didn't. Before I met my husband, I didn't really believe in those kind of things.
Yeah.
But because I've had so much happen to myself in this house, I can't deny it. I just, you know, there's no other physical, logical explanation that I've got. So, you know, what you have to believe what you see at the end of the day, or what you feel.
I mean,
Oh,
and it's like, right, so I'll share a very personal story. I mean, you know about it, obviously. There's that
yeah,
done.
yeah.
So, now you all know that it was my son's birthday, my oldest son's birthday, a few weeks back.
Mm,
Now, there was a reason I stayed off YouTube. I was a bit of a mess, right? And it was weird because this one was like weird because you'd have thought surely been the year that it passed would have been the worst one. Don't get me wrong, it was bad, but this one was completely different. So when you lose someone that young to that kind of life, there's a lot of anger in you, obviously. And, you know, it's like certain things I couldn't, even though I loved my son and I did, but there were certain things I couldn't think about because it would hurt too much.
yeah.
So what happened was the night of his birthday, it just turned, it was about 2 minutes past 12. And I have him in my living room. I know it sounds weird to some of them thinking, Jesus Christ, I have his ashes in my house, in my living room. I can see him right now. Every Christmas, my youngest dresses him up, puts an elf hat on him. So I was sitting there and I wished him a happy birthday, right? And I was getting myself a bit upset. And I told him I forgived him for everything in the past.
Mm,
And I mean, I told you, didn't I? Honest to God, right? The freakiest thing happened. I was sitting, I was red hot, right? And the next minute there was this coldness round us, and it felt like someone was sitting on my knee and they had their arms round us. Oh God, I'm like, I know vocal think, get stuff. That, and I swear to God, when I said to Cindy, I said, honestly, I just felt like it was hugging us. Right? I know it's some of folk could be thinking, nah, it never happened, never happened. Listen, you can all believe what you want. I can tell you now, 100% this happened. I felt like this coldness came round my neck and then onto my shoulder, and I felt like someone was sitting on my knee, and if they were just hugging us. And I was sobbing like a baby.
oh,
I was absolutely sobbing my heart out, right? So I told him I loved him and that the past is gone. And I feel so much better in myself.
yeah.
I wish to God, Philly, I'd been. So I've never smoked weed in my life, right? Never done drugs, never. I wish to God I had that night, Phil. Honestly, right?
Yeah,
But it
you
was
were
just weird.
you were pretty cut up at that time.
Oh, honestly, I've never, except when he passed. When he first passed, I was a mess, right?
Mm,
Obviously, you are when you. I mean, it doesn't matter who you lose. It can be your mum, your dad, you know. Any family member, it breaks your heart, you know. The first person I'd ever, I mean, I lost my nana when I was young, but you know what I mean, I was very young. But my
yeah.
dad, but no, this was different.
Randy's picking on you again.
Randy, stop bullying us. Look at you, you bully. Stop it.
Do you know,
Right.
I made a brilliant banner as well for if anybody wanted to jump up that I wasn't quite sure of. I got a fantastic banner, so I'm going to have to show it you, Jaleese.
Yeah, go on, show us it.
Right there, look. Can you see it?
Is that better than the one?
So that's probably pissed a lot of people off now. But
That's movement as well.
I thought
Like,
it was brilliant.
someone's going to be watching this. I've clicked on right now and gone, Jesus Christ, there's going to be a Ouija board moving on its own.
They'll be going, oh my God, they're witches. Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
so that was like, it was, I know it's a sad story, but it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah,
Honestly.
because you had that moment where it allowed you to offload a lot of grief.
Oh, God, yeah, and he
And I
did,
bet
you know.
any money, you feel so much lighter in yourself
I said
because
that
you've
to you, didn't I?
allowed yourself to do that.
Yeah, I said that to you. I said, I feel
Yeah.
like, I just feel it was different. It was draining, but I felt
Mm.
so much lighter.
Yeah.
And, you know, even like little bear says, well, what's going on with you? And he said, you know, and I said, honestly, obviously my youngest, right, doesn't believe in any ghosts, even though he was touched as a kid. He didn't believe in any of that crap, right?
Yeah.
So when I told him, he went, if that meant you, like, whatever's happened, ma'am, whether it did or it didn't, he said, I don't think you would lie to us, you're my mum. And I've never lied to him. Like, that's what I don't do. I don't lie to my kid.
Mm.
I mean, maybe a little white lies to save his heart, but, you know, sounds to me like you're coming out. Do you know something,
Yes,
feel like?
Phil.
I've never felt this, like, content in myself since his death. And then, obviously, I came back on YouTube, like, hit and miss kind of things. And then it was getting talked about, right? Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before that had happened, I think it would have been me wanting to really, like, do something to serious harm. But it's a case now. Whatever they say to me, it can't affect it. It a little bit stayed, and I found it hard to deal with. But then I'm like, hang on, you've moved on from me. You know,
Mm.
you've got some peace in your life.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, he's been dead like 5 years now, nearly 5 years. And
Yeah, but
it's
it still feels very fresh and raw to you, though,
yeah,
doesn't it?
it did, especially that night. I didn't realise how much I was hurting until
Mm.
that happened. And
Yeah.
now I just feel it doesn't matter what anybody says to me. You know, it doesn't matter what they say about him. I know my son. I know who he was. Acceptance is the final stage, Julies. Just live your life now and you'll never forget. Oh, thank you, Philly. But that's true. I've accepted he's gone. And I think that was because even my extortion or the second one said, Liz, she'd had this dream, very weird dream. So when he passed, she has a little boy, right? That's not his. Her oldest is mine. Well, his.
Mm.
The only granddaughter I've got. Now, she's with a boyfriend now, and they have a little boy. Now, to him, I'm his nan. He's got a little Yorkshire accent, right?
Oh.
But I'm his nan, and little Bear's his uncle. And even my two oldest grandsons call him their little brother. That's how much the love that is in my family, right?
Yeah.
You know, to this little boy, he doesn't know any different. To him, I'm his nan, you know.
Yeah.
And when they came to visit, and when they were gone, sorry, he went, oh, wait, I haven't given my nan a kiss and told her I love her. I've got to go and do it because I'm not going to see her for a while. You know, that's the kind of. So when my oldest passed away, it'd only been like the next day, and she was in the kitchen. Now, my granddaughter was at school and she'd wanted to go into school. Oh, thank you, Tony. So he ran in. So there was only them two in the house. He ran in the living room and went like, Mommy, there's a scary man sitting on the chair. And she said, right away, he just came in here because it was the very next day after he passed. So she got in. She said, so she'd said his name. Obviously, she said, stop keeping your ass warm using my gas. Right? She has a sense of humour like my youngest. And she said, so I just said, listen, said his name. You know, you scared little fella, you're more than like, you know what I mean? Come and visit and come and visit her. So look, you know what I mean? But just don't let him see you because he's scared him. And she said he's never seen him since. You know,
Mm,
weird, isn't it?
it
But it's,
is.
you know, and then when obviously my little granddaughter took some pictures back with her after the funeral and what have you, and he said, Mum, that was a scary man sitting on that chair where Daddy's sitting now. So he'd seen him. And then, of course, my granddaughter said, what do you mean he was sitting there? And the mum says, oh, he thought he'd seen him. She said, I can't tell her because she's still too young as hell. You know, she's only a little girl as hell. Yeah, but it's weird, these. I mean, I know my mum comes, and I know, you know why I know my mum comes? Because she leaves the bloody doors open.
Yeah, I remember you saying that to me.
Yeah, honestly, she just, woof, the door just flies open. And I know it's her, because that's how she used to enter my house. Every door, like, wide open, it would bang open.
So it's
See?
only been a couple of years since I've stopped walking up my own stairs. You know, if you put a hand out in front of you and a hand out at the back, and you're like waving in the air to make sure nothing's behind you. I swear to God, I was doing that all the time. And my husband used to turn around and say, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "I'm making sure nobody pushes me down the pissing stairs." Yeah. Oh my
It's
God.
really difficult
As well.
to heal. So
I
I'm
bet
so
it
proud
really
of you for being able to live through that. Oh, thank you, Willow. Honestly, I feel so much better. I feel lighter. It's weird because when other family members have died, I've never gone through that, like that kind of process thing. I've accepted it and moved, you know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah.
But with
Yeah.
him, I think it's maybe because it was my child, I don't know. My attic makes noises in the wind.
Oh,
Calvin,
don't talk to me about attics. Oh my God.
Calvin, that's not the wind, it's me walking around in your attic looking for your sweets. I'm going to scare people today. You're all going to have nightmares about me tonight. I'm going to make sure
Yep.
of it.
You're all wet in your beds tonight. I am
Yeah.
so sorry. Not.
Randy, don't look under your bed.
Randy,
Scares me
don't
when
put your hand underneath your pillow because there might be something that bites your fingers.
scares me when the attic door suddenly opens. You will view things completely different, Julies. Only what matters becomes important. Exactly, Philly. Friends and
Yeah.
family may pass on, but they never leave us. It's everything out us. Oh, you're so lovely.
I've
Calvin.
saved text messages and everything that my mum used to send me. You know, because I used to speak to her every single day on FaceTime or text messaging
Yeah.
or on the telephone. And I can't bring myself to delete anything. You know, and I've got things on my old phone as well, and I've kept them because on my old phone I've got a voice message from my dad, and not long before he passed away.
Oh,
And I saved it, and every now and again I'll put my SIM card back into this old phone, and I'll just go through some of the pictures and messages,
yeah.
and all of a sudden I was going through my voicemails that was on it that I've saved, and my dad's voice just like popped up, and he goes, "Hello, it's your father." And I'm like, well, who else would it be, you know? And so I've saved that, and that's the only voice message I've got left of my dad. And as I said, I met him because I don't remember him as a little one because, as I say, I was about 2.5 when he left.
Yeah.
And I met him again when I was 27, just before I had my last child. And it was weird, you know.
Yeah.
And the first words out of my mouth is, "Well, why did you leave?" I know, you know, why did you leave? And I said that as I opened the front door, and you know, it's something that you just come out with, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
because I'm not exactly going to hug somebody and say,
Well, no.
"Oh, Dad, I've so missed you," because I didn't know him, didn't know the
Well,
man.
yeah, because it's different. You've got to learn to love them again, I suppose, from, you know,
Do you know,
because,
I don't think I ever did though, Jalise, because as I said, I only met him the once.
yeah.
I obviously I spoke to him on the phone, but it was kind of like I wouldn't answer the phone when he tried to ring sometimes, and I'm thinking, actually, I don't want to speak to you.
Yeah.
Because I was still struggling in myself on
Yeah.
how to approach it. And then when he died, it was a very sudden death, just like that. And then I remember his then wife ringing me to tell me, and I fell to pieces, absolutely fell to pieces. So
Oh,
my advice would be to anybody, if you can, try and patch things up with people, because you don't know what's going to happen.
no.
I that's my one regret. I do regret not patching things up with him and having it out and this, that, and the other, and getting to a good place with each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always try and say, I've got a friend going through the same at the moment, and I try and tell her, try and work it out with him.
Yeah.
You don't have to forgive them,
But just try and,
and you'll never forget what,
no.
if anything's gone off, like, kind of thing. But, just try and find some peace in yourself, because at the end of the day, it's not worth it, But then again, for some family members, if you don't get on with them, it's worth it to, get rid of them.
Well, I mean, none of us get on with my middle sister, right? I mean, we don't. I've gone past the stage where you know what I mean? To me, welcome back, Dadden. I'm one of them. Yeah. I'm one of them.
Get over that, sorry.
I know. I'm one of them. Once you piss me off to the point where she did, even though she's my sister, and I do love her, she's my sister, but I just don't like her. And I've told you what she did to my mum. So I have no time for that kind of BS. And I can take that, and that's my sister. So you can imagine if I do it to strangers, I can walk away from that person and not look back. I mean, I do love her. She's my sister. We grew up together, but I'll never forgive her. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Lord.
The thing is, Randy, I have to say, you don't have to forgive them. You really do not have to forgive them at all. What I'm trying to say is, try and find some peace in your own mind. But that's only if you are in that kind of turmoil in your head, like I was. Just find your own peace and be happy. That's all I'm saying.
Dan's prayer. I dumped my mother after 1 year, met her age 25, she lied to me, and I turned on her. Answers are there if you look for them. Most people don't notice, but trust they're there.
Yeah. That's right, Willow. It is. Forgiveness is for yourself. It's not for those. Not for those.
You want about there, I don't know who Jelly Belly is. I'll vote Jim Smith.
Where is our elusive Jim Smith tonight?
Oh, I'd be in love her. He was live till this morning.
He'd have been begging to get on this panel.
No, yeah, well, he'll be in love with it because he was still alive.
Oh,
when I got up this morning, he hadn't long finished his bloody life. He must have been up all night.
Really?
No.
Well, show the moving Ouija board. All right, then let me go. Let me get it again. Right there, just for you, Calvin.
Right, I put one of them under Andy's bed and one in Kelvin's attic.
Oh.
If someone annoys me, I just delete them from my life. No time for drama. That's me, if you like. My friends, well, obviously my sister. I just don't need it, and I won't put up with it. I know, Dan. I know you've had with a.
Well, we've kind of gone off the topic a little bit, haven't we? I know. But it's fine. Let's just talk about whatever comes up. But
no, Kevin, I'm putting them in your attic.
Not certain things.
No, I'm putting them in your attic carefully, and Randy, I've put one of them under your bed. Trying to get rid of the wrong smell from all the wrong ones.
See, you didn't see my hands moving it, did you?
Oh, Philly, I looked on and I can't remember what time it was. I woke up and I was going to message him and say, go to friggin' bed. But I thought, that can't be arsed. And then as soon as it was on his panel, I thought, yeah, definitely can't be arsed tonight.
Oh,
I chose now. It's like I said to you. Oh, well, let's not the honest one.
Oh, tell me later.
Yeah. Joke's on you. I'll sleep in a hammock. That's what you think. You won't be tonight because I've slept. Put a big hole in it.
if you're sleeping in a hammock, we're definitely coming to twist you around. Nick.
It's all right, I've gone
We can
along
have
with it with
so much
a
fun in
knife.
that.
Yeah, I've gone along with it with a knife. He won't be sleeping in that hammock tonight. He'll be going in that bed, I'm telling you. When he goes to bed, I said to Julius on his panel.
Yes, I popped in when you were on the panel.
Yeah, I
But
wasn't there long.
you were only on for about 10 minutes or something.
Yeah,
I
and then I
think.
went. The thing is, I'm choosing now not to be on YouTube as much. It's just
yeah.
honestly, I'm enjoying it. Not being, I don't want to listen to grown adults screaming and shouting, name calling, doxing, family.
No.
I don't want to see it. So I choose not to come on.
A
And
little
I'm
bit of drama now and again doesn't hurt anybody, but
no,
it's constant of late.
yeah,
Absolutely constant.
and it puts people off. And I'm glad you admit it, Randy. It's about time we can get you some help for being a bully.
There you go. He's admitted it, guys. There it
Yes.
is on the screen.
In black and white.
Screenshot
Wait,
it, Julesce.
hang on, I've got it. I'll take a screenshot of that. Hang on. I've got it. Got it.
Oh dear.
Well, Randy, we all appreciate you admitting that. Now it's time to get some help for you. When I'm not doing the Lord's work, I fight crime.
Do you wear your underpants on the outside of your trousers then, Teddy?
He's got Spider-Man ones.
Oh my God.
That's why I'm down now and not Irish Raider. Raider for people. I'm an internet persona. It's not me. Well, say, I would put my real name out there. Well, you all know what my first name is, but I choose not to put my full name out there. Oh, I'm hoping to change my name soon back to my maiden name anyhow.
Oh, are you? Well done. Go for
Well,
it, girl.
when little Bear was born, he's got 4 names. Well, 3 names, and then his surname. Now, one of the names is my maiden name. Randy once accepted a new skateboard off Michael Jackson for the sleepover and told me, Billy, I believe that. So he said, please, listen, right? He said, at the end of the day, you're the one that's brought me up. You've been my mum and dad. He chose not to bring me up after a certain time. Good evening, Ryan. He said, so I'm dropping my name. So, of course, his fiancée said, I just want to be known as Mrs. My maiden name, right?
Yeah.
And she said, would that be all right with you? I said, well, when you get married, yes, of course it is. You're marrying my son. So you'll have the same name as him. I said, my family would be very happy to have. They all love her, right? Every member. Now, my brother-in-law, my oldest sister's husband, he's not one of those that's going to chat to you all night if you met him. You might get a couple of words, but with her, she'll get him up dancing and, ironically enough, that's the type of band that I'd expect from buying me to the...
Talking about changing names, my divorce came through finally, all done, absolute, about 6 weeks maybe before I was due to give birth.
Yeah.
And
oh my God.
Yeah, well, there was a bit of kerfuffle around about solicitors, and because I'd moved house and this, that, and the other, I had to get a new solicitor, and the first time around, obviously, my solicitor came around and said, "I didn't think you were serious, so I didn't file for one." And I went, "I instructed you to file for divorce." I said, "You should have done it," and they apologised. But anyway, long story short, finally got all sorted. Took a few years, but got there. And I went and changed my surname to Mr. S's surname so that we will all have the same surname when our child was born. I haven't got a big hang up about, whether my name would have been different, but I had no intentions of getting married. So I thought the easiest option is to just change surnames. So I did that literally 2 weeks before I gave birth. And
well, this is why I've always kept my ex-husband's name, because obviously little Bears has got his dad's name. But obviously I knew I was never going to get married again, so he was just going to stay that. And then a couple of years ago, he went, "Les, listen, right?" He said, "It's not in my life. I'm not in his." He said, If he came knocking at the door, I'd tell him to go forth. And he's one of these. Randy Moon was trying to sell you with JULESE as a scarecrow to keep the birds away from her crap.
He's
Yeah.
a bugger, that Phil.
And do you know something, Randy? You know how much he was going to charge us for you? 25 pence. And
25 pence. I'm complaining. I was
25
getting
pence and a
30
sock.
pence for him.
25 pence and a sock. I don't know what he was going to do with
And
the
I'd
sock.
gone,
There we go. So he just said to us, you know, I just want to.
see, coming up and tell us a ghost story. See, we've outdone ourselves now. We've chatted
There's
so
only
much.
so many we've got.
Yeah, I'm not one of these ones that have a haunting every single day.
I mean, my old lady goes like to shut my doors.
Oh.
Randy, I'm going to go away soon. Do you want to come up at my house? And you can even sleep in the little room. She loves touching me, and it's the only bit you're going to get.
Oh my God, who's that? PP's elusive fishing. It's obviously somebody we know because they've got a goddamn spanner.
Right, can one of the mods check the channel out and say whose real name it is?
Oh my God. Do you know, I can't keep up with all these different names keep coming in. I'm
Well,
surprised at the moment with Rachel saying that she always going in the bath. Somebody's going to pop up as Rachel's bathwater soon.
I was going to change my name to the Sanderson sister. Then I realised I've been with you for 2 weeks.
I love that film. Don't you love that film? The Hocus
I
Pocus.
do. That's what I'm going to watch. That. Am I hearing you right? Did you just invite me to stay? Yes, Randy. I need someone to look after the pigs. And I'm going to put you there in the little room where the ghost likes to touch males, and she only touches males, right? She doesn't bother females, but she likes to touch males. Pee. Julie said if you pull the skin tight on your back and put a pig on it, it will.
It's Stevie Boy. PP's
Right.
Stevie Boy.
On Halloween, Julie walks the streets at night, washing her scary Mary, turning people to stone. No, I do that twice a week, see, Teddy. Oh, Willow, I love Hocus Pocus. I haven't watched the new one.
The second one was it was a bit disappointing, I think.
Well, that's what Little Bear said. He said, don't bother watching it because you'll just be sad you watched it.
Yeah, I mean, when my girls were little, my middle child, who did actually have middle child syndrome, she was obsessed with it. And it was the only film that she would watch every night coming home from school. And she'd used to watch it twice. You know, she'd just put it straight back on again. And like, we were all like, oh my God, we've got to get the kids their own TV because I can't keep watching this night after night. I love the film, but oh my God, not that often.
Yeah. Well, me Little Bear got me granddaughter into it. He put it on now. She was only a baby. I mean, putting that on.
Witches, love that one too.
Oh, me too. I tell you what I watched. Nicolas Cage. Oh God, I watched it. You know which one I'm talking about, don't you?
I think so.
He plays the knight. I mean, he's a pretty shit actor, but I watched that the other night.
Trying to think of the title of it.
I watched it. Hang on, I'll tell you because I'll go to Netflix.
Right, give me 2 seconds just while I mute.
Yeah. I don't love that witches. I didn't like the new one. Oh, wait, I better knock the sound off.
Right, I'm back.
Right, so we'll go Nicolas Cage. What am I doing there? Right, so I'm going to search for Nicolas Cage. It's Nicolas Cage that was on it, isn't he?
I think so. Well, it depends what film you're on about. What's that one with Goldie Hawn?
Oh, got it.
Cher?
Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch, yeah. Oh, and The Witcher. Did you watch The Witcher?
I do. I haven't watched because he left, so I haven't watched them.
Jack Nicholson one with Cher. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of, Weeping Willow, and I can't think of the title of it.
Oh, good night, Steve.
Night, Steve. Oh, Steve is live when we finish. So I'm going to end this in about 10 minutes or so. And if you all want a bit of music to have a bit of a bop around, go over to Steve's. He's having a set on. Witches of Eastwick. Yeah. Oh, we've been called Witches of Eastwick.
Oh, yeah, we've been called real names, actually.
For this.
I mean, let's be honest, we've been called quite a few names. None of them very nice either.
Oh, right. Yeah. I see what you've done, Stevie, you bugger.
Yeah, we've been called not so nice names, prostitutes, hookers.
Name's a name. Name's a name. Water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Nicholas Cage apparently married Elvis's daughter just so he could see Elvis's bedroom. He didn't. Well, that again, it wouldn't surprise us with him because I don't think he's all there. I've seen the way he dresses and that. It's like, no. If somebody said, well, I fancy going on a date, they didn't turn up at my house looking like that, I'd wet myself laughing at them.
Okay,
I would
right.
tell
Elvis, do you believe that he died when he did?
Yeah.
Or do you believe that he staged it all?
No, I believe he died.
Yeah, I do too. But there's so many conspiracy theories going around about it. Oh my word.
Teddy, I went to see that, right? And I was far too young to see it. And the thing is, it was our priest that was standing outside with some nuns. But I got in because the old woman that used to like be at the doors and that, she knew where she was. She knew my mum, so she always let me in. And it was 2 movies that were played at the time. I can't. What was that?
Play that link. I don't know how to play the link while I'm on StreamYard.
I can't remember. I was far too young. I was nowhere near 18.
Don't know.
Bill told Randy JULESE looks like the Exorcist every morning. I do. I completely agree with you there. Especially this morning. I had to drag myself out of bed this morning. Right? Because I had got an email last night. I had the delivery come in very early. So I dragged my ass out of bed. Maybe sell a cuppa and that, I'm thinking, I can't go in the shower till they've been. And I potted around, done bits and pieces in the house, and I looked at the email again, it's not coming till Monday. I'm such an ass. Yeah, it's not coming till Monday.
Well, does anybody know how you click a link while you're on StreamYard? Because when I hover over something with a link, it just highlights the message, and I can't actually click on it for some reason.
No, I can't.
So that's something I need to figure out how to do, to be fair.
Well, I use my phone, so to be honest with you, it's quite weird with a phone. If
you were on StreamYard, that you could click on these links and play them, or download them and play them or whatever, but obviously, well, I can't. So I don't know how to do that. I'll have to consult somebody who knows. And right.
I'm a devil there, Darren. What is it you? Type in YouTube, Elvis 60 needs to serve it. Oh yeah, he was into young girls, that's definite. But see, the thing is, where he was from, that's the kind of thing they were doing. Like, no, it's wrong. Like one of my friends, right? They were going to bed at dawn, and she was talking about like dating younger guys, and she said to me, "If your son was out on a night out and he brought me home, you would love me." I said, "I would beat you with his dead cold body. That would never happen." I said, "I'm telling you, ever went near my kid? No, a woman of like that age going after young lads that age to me is wrong." Not that age.
I'm still trying to figure out how to click on links. I don't know how to do it.
Hang on, I'm going to type in the back chat how much older she was than him.
Oh, right.
There you go.
Let me have a look. Oh.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, no, it wasn't today. I don't think it was today. I think it just, went with young girls.
Well, I don't know about you, Julese, but I am absolutely knackered.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been up since crack of dawn. And in my bath, I can hear him walking around upstairs. So I'm going to have to go anyhow.
Yeah, I think we'll call it a night now,
Yeah.
so I can chill out, get things sorted out. And I've got to put the parrot to bed anyway, because I can hear him. He's
Yeah.
going, bye-bye, bye-bye, which is signalling for piss off, go to bed and let me have the room to myself.
Yeah. Right, well, good
So,
night, everyone. And I won't see you all later, but I'll see you tomorrow.
yeah.
And I'll
Thank you
speak to
so
you
much,
later.
Julese, for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Always
Right,
a
see you
pleasure.
all later.
Thank you to everybody in the chat. It's been, well, I've really enjoyed it. So thank you so much, guys. And, don't be frightened of coming up on the panels with us and talking to us. Honestly, we do not bite. What's that? So Cindy's tired and Julese has been on the crack. Oh my God, Phil. Oh, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you all tonight. Honestly, I hope we can do this again, maybe on a different subject. Who knows, or if you just want to chit chat, let us know. We'll throw up a live and we'll have chit chat because we're very good at chit chat here. Absolutely. So, yep. I appreciate you all. Big up, everybody. Thank you for being so good and chilled in the chat. You're all amazing. See you later, guys. Bye.